Okay.
Hello, friends of Disney.
Hello.
Hello.
So, I have news. This will be my last episode for a while.
The last episode of Megan.
Tears.
Forever.
Okay, we're not getting that dramatic. As you can tell, if you've been watching for a while, and if not, I am pregnant. Like, very pregnant. Like, I'm going to pop soon.
Like at the time of this recording, she's 37 weeks.
So very soon.
Like, he can come any minute. God, I hope he doesn't come during the recording of this podcast, otherwise this will be very awkward.
this this video may not be rated for some viewers.
Hashtag cap cut.
Oh,
Also, I just realized with the lighting, you can actually see the art.
it's a waterfall.
Yeah.
I would turn it on, but it makes like really nasty water.
Don't do it. Don't do
Oh,
it.
does Megan not like the sound?
Just don't do
No.
it.
Okay.
It'll mess up all the sound.
So what movie did we watch?
So, in request of my last episode, I decided to watch one of my favorite movies of all time, Cinderella III. And if you say, Megan, Cinderella III is an awful movie, then you're getting it wrong with Cinderella II. Okay?
Cinderella 3 is the true Cinderella 2.
Yes. And then, yeah, listen, it's a perfect time travel movie. So, I guess I should start with the question. Wow, it feels really weird me like leading the podcast. Oh my God.
Too bad this is your last episode.
For a few months at least.
Yeah, until baby comes. Baby pumpkin. Because I can't say the name. Anyway, have you ever seen Cinderella 3 before?
I saw Cinderella 3 as soon as it released out on DVD because they didn't release it in theaters.
It was a direct-to-video sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Lion King 2, Little Mermaid 2, Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, because we did the Cinderella episode for my birthday month, and yeah, I obviously it's clear I love Cinderella. I was obsessed as a child, so I paid attention to the advertisements of this movie for so long, and as soon as it was released, we bought it because I was like, I need it.
So, since you're such a Cinderella freak, what's your response to Cinderella 3 compared to Cinderella 2?
Um, as a child, not gonna lie, I didn't really care or notice the differences when I was a child between 2 and 3. But now that I'm an adult, I realize that 2 is just short stories and 3 is actually more of a sequel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love Cinderella 3 so much. I'm the one who introduced you to Cinderella 3.
It's true. It's true.
And it's the reason why you love Fairy Godmother.
Yes,
I also want to point this out. Cinderella has a different voice in 3.
she does.
It bothers me
I
now.
understand why it would bother you, but there's also not a lot we can do to fix it.
Yes, I know, but I love her original voice and it bothers me.
Critics do. Out of all the Disney princesses, all but 2 are alive. The only ones to have passed on is Snow White and Cinderella. Sleeping Beauty is still alive and going. We love you, Mary Costa. But anyways, okay, I have to ask. I asked you this in the car, but what's your favorite song
The
in Cinderella 3?
the opening song with Cinderella singing.
The Perfect Year.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Oh no, I'm like thinking through all of them. Well, the only one that really comes to mind is the one with the mice trying to explain.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, he decided he's going to kick my ribs right now. The baby, not Sean. That would be very awkward.
Well, they could also physically see if Sean was trying to kick your ribs.
I feel bad husband. Yeah, when they're trying to like explain to Prince what's happening, and they do that whole song.
I love that song so much.
At the ball, da 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 da.
Cinderella was a maiden at the ball. Jacques and Gus Gus are like, I'm a huge
Psychic fan.
I'm a huge Psychic fan, but I love fat characters.
Oh my god.
Gus Gus is so cute.
I love Gus Gus.
He's
I
adorable.
love Winnie the Pooh.
Oh my god, you know what I realized is in my pocket? My Cinderella wallet.
You should just stick it right there between you and Megan.
All right, those who missed the Cinderella episode, we legitimately had all of our Cinderella stuff out. This was one of them.
Well, remember, here's the issue with the Cinderella episode. Go check it out. But remember, the Cinderella episode, we lost all of our video footage on.
Yeah,
So it was all audio only.
but this was one of the things that we did show that we lost the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loungefly Cinderella wallet.
We got
Loungefly.
We love you, Loungefly.
on the back. There's the mice.
And like the most underrated characters in also Cinderella lore, the birds.
So underrated.
They're so underrated. They do. I would argue that they do more than Gus Gus and Jaq.
Wrong. Wrong.
They do more than the women mice.
True. You don't see them in this movie.
Yeah,
Well, the women mice sewed an entire dress, y'all.
but also so did Jacques and Gus. Also help sew that dress.
Yeah, don't you remember that? Cut.
Cut.
And they almost cut off one another's tails.
Occupational hazard. Okay. I don't even like. I don't even know where we can actually like begin like talking about this movie.
Okay.
The fact that Lady Tremaine is actually a villain in this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, we can say it. We can be honest here. Lady Tremaine, by far, is the lamest villain besides without this movie.
Cinderella, Cinderella, all the night and
I
Cinderella.
mean, she's just not a good mom in the first one.
Okay, look at Abuela from Encanto. She's not good either. She's on par with Lady Tremaine.
I disagree.
Okay, Abuela got forgiveness. Lady Tremaine didn't.
Okay, true.
And there's obviously some differences in motivation,
Yes.
but the premise is the same.
I mean, I guess I also just cannot stand Abuela. I'm sorry.
That's, I don't like Abuela from Encanto.
But we're not here
Like
talking about Encanto.
It was like she kind of just became a hag from when her husband died, essentially, and
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why she is the way she is. But also, she reminds me too much of some relatives I have that I have negative relationships with.
But we're not talking about Encanto.
We're talking about Cinderella 3 and how it is the best and how literally the whole premise of the movie is Anastasia's like, I want the life that Cinderella had. And so she finds Fairy Godmother's wand, reverses time. Well, her stepmother. No, her mother, Lady Tremaine.
Anastasia found the wand.
Anastasia found the wand. Brought it.
Stole the wand.
Yeah,
Brought it to the stepmom, and
the stepmother then took it out of,
Reverse time back to when the Grand Duke
brought the shoe over.
brought the shoe over for the fitting, and she used the wand to make the slipper fit Anastasia before Cinderella could break free from the room and spoil Lady Tremaine's plans.
oh, and then she shattered the other glass slipper.
Yes.
Can we talk about the sisters? How Anastasia has this conflicting stage between knowing what's right and what's wrong in Drizella.
Well, and it hints at like what was brought up in Cinderella too, of how Anastasia is capable of
'Cause
being good.
In the second one, she met the bread man, and she fell in love with the bread man.
Yes.
In headcanon, it goes Cinderella 1, Cinderella 3, Cinderella 2.
And it's all because of Anastasia why we have this theory.
Yes.
Because why would Anastasia, who loved the bread man,
The baker?
yes, you call him the bread man, I'm sorry.
I called him the bread man.
Yeah, exactly. It's the bread man.
It's like me with the burrito saying
No, because why would she be so jealous of Cinderella and want her life when she found someone that she did
make her happy. Yeah.
make her happy? So it only makes sense that Cinderella III, which at the beginning of the movie takes place only 1 year after the first movie.
They even sing it.
Yeah, the very opening song is literally the like how about it's been like a perfect year and they're celebrating their 1 year anniversary. So there's no way that Cinderella 2 all happened within that year. Especially the continuity between Anastasia and the bread man. It's stuck, I'm sorry.
It's like Ginger Dead Man if anyone watches Markiplier's Distractable podcast.
So Cinderella 3 has to be the true sequel, followed up with Cinderella 2 being the actual third movie.
Which Cinderella 2 is really only short stories because it has 2 short stories in it.
I thought it was 3.
I think it's 3.
Oh, I thought it was 2.
Because like there's the one with Jacques
Yeah.
where he turns into like
And then there's Cinderella reading. Well, she's the one.
There's Anastasia's thing.
Yeah.
There's one more, I swear.
I just remember getting really
There was the one about the ball and Cinderella was losing her mind over Prudence.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the third one. I remember skipping the one with Jacques.
Yeah, that one's the worst one.
It just made me very uncomfortable.
I want to like okay. Disney went out of the box with this sequel though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like Little Mermaid 2 was a complete reverse of Little Mermaid 1, you know. So it's not too original really. Lion King 2 played it safe about Kiara, and 1.5 was, let's be honest, it's just it's as a testimony from put it, it's a behind the sequel.
Yeah.
So this one is like a really weird, fun take. for a
This
sequel.
one's kind of like if you were to look at Frozen 2 in a way, in terms of like how the storyline progresses, not in terms of like the actual stories themselves, because they are very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not retelling the same story. It's like
It's adding.
it's adding to it.
It's adding it in a really interesting way. I mean, I think this is Disney's like one of Disney's only time travel movies.
That's like
So Descendants 4 should have done this.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Descendants Rise of Red, if you haven't watched that episode,
Check it out.
go check it out. It's right now like one of our
It's our best video.
yeah. Watch it, but also yeah, the Cinderella 3 is how Rise of Red should have gone.
Well, what makes it so iconic is I don't even know where to begin.
The window jumping scene?
Okay, they completely reinvented the prince. Like the Prince Charming of Cinderella was the worst Disney prince.
Yeah.
Like even Snow White's prince had more personality than this Prince Charming.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I can't even remember like Snow White's prince's name.
Prince Florian
So Prince Charming, like in the first movie, he
doesn't say anything.
yeah, literally
Like, yawns.
nothing.
I'm literally giving a glance at his dad like, really? Really?
And he doesn't even remember the girl. He has to have them put on a size 4 shoe.
Which I love that they referenced. Oh, that whole scene with him and the king. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
And then he's like, it's not about the
Um,
shoe, it's the person who wears the shoe.
Oh no.
We're frozen.
Oh no, 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 no.
No, not again.
No.
We haven't had this issue in so long.
I know. Tonight is not the night for this to be happening. 5, 4, 3,
Hold on. Hold on.
2,
Hold on.
1.
Oh no, stop after like
Got in 14 minutes.
unpause. I really don't know.
Oh God.
Welcome back.
Okay. So we had a little bit of camera issues. We don't know where this left off. But
Prince Charming being
yes.
one of the worst princes too.
Yeah, so he was the worst prince, and they completely reinvented
Prince Charming.
how he was in the best way possible.
He went from being like this.
Plank of wood.
I was gonna say like just kind of like stone cold prince who just like didn't want to be there and like totally forgot this woman who's like shoe size or whatever. And then he becomes like this lovable goofball.
Mm-mm. Well, and in beyond like a goofball, like I know the most iconic scene with him is the window jumping scene.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Like the king literally stops and be like, "I won't let you take another foot down these stairs." He goes, "Okay," and just jumps out the window.
Can we go over Cinderella being a mice catcher?
Oh yeah.
Dude, the heart attack she gave the mice.
So okay. So Cinderella, after Anastasia and Drizella and the stepmother, Lady Tremaine, all go into the palace because Anastasia now gets the slipper. Cinderella is like, no, I'm going to go find the prince and he'll remember me. And so she has to get in. So she goes in through the servants' quarters. And Prudence, who is the head of staff,
Yes.
Yeah.
is like, I don't recognize you. Who are you? And Cinderella's like, I'm the royal mouse catcher. And
And Jaq and Gus just go,
she's like, and when Prudence isn't looking, he's like, no, we're good, guys, we're good.
Mm.
But I love the thought that Gus and Jaq, who've like known Cinderella for a while now, at least, were like, oh my gosh, she changed in a
Shit,
split second.
she turned on us.
And then like the fun they have in the kitchen, just wrecking havoc.
Okay. One scene about the prince again that I love so much is towards the end. So Anastasia is still disguised to be Cinderella.
Oh, she gets disguised to be Cinderella at one
If they
point.
haven't seen this movie, that's on them. It's been out for over 10 years. It's fine.
Okay, cool. I was like, how much do I have to recap? Oh my God, he's kicking a lot.
Hey, kid, right now is not the time for labor.
If I go into labor during this episode, can we just put a picture right here?
We'll just freeze your frame right there.
Freeze
Anyways,
frame.
no. So when Anastasia is still disguised as Cinderella, and Lady Tremaine's like about to cast a spell on Anastasia, and then actual Cinderella steps in front, and she just goes even better, and they zoom in on the prince's face, and he has that intense intense animated look, just no, and like goes for the sword and everything. That scene, I love it. I don't know what about it is, but that crazy intense look, you have never seen that on a Disney prince.
Oh my gosh. Like the only time you get that crazy look is from Hans.
Yeah.
And he's the bad guy. And our Prince Charming is a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate in this movie, like, obviously there's true love's first kiss, but like in this one, he's able to still tell who his love is by holding each other's hands.
So I want to tell a funny joke, okay? So me and Megan,
Oh no.
I showed her this movie, and like more towards like the beginning of our relationship and stuff, where we were like really really cutesy, the
Like the honeymoon.
honeymoon phase. Yeah,
Mhm.
I
If you think
remember
we're cute now,
making a joke of like, "Oh my gosh, honey, I know you're my true love. I'm holding your hand. I don't need you to kiss me. I'm holding your hand."
and if you're wondering, I reacted back then the same way I react now by rolling my eyes and being like, yes, hun.
You guys know.
I'm a single Pringle now, so
Womp womp.
You finally dumped the homeless man from.
yeah. It wasn't Chili's. It was Applebee's.
See, we know the lore. We know the lore. Sorry.
He may still be on the podcast though, because we decided that Friends is the way to go.
Yeah.
Be-
I do like hanging out.
yeah, just romantically not working.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the TV show for a second.
Yes.
Things will never be this way. But
Wrong studio. Friends in a different studio.
oh yeah. Sorry.
Anyways,
There's also Lego Friends.
Oh, you're right. I prefer one of those over the other, and it's the Legos. I
what are your guys' thoughts on the revamped pumpkin carriage scene?
Oh my gosh, I think it's so cool how like originally it was like this beautiful like like magical thing, and then because Fairy Godmother, who has a pure heart, who I love with all my heart, she did it, and then with Lady Tremaine, it shows like her like evil intentions, I guess. And I just love how they play off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, like, as we've noted in multiple times with the villains, there's this bright, ominous green. And Lady Tremaine is continuously showing this green whenever she casts a spell.
Also, Lucifer as a human should not happen.
Yeah.
No, he was creepy. He kind of looked a little. Yeah. Like hiding out in your mom's basement playing video games ish.
Now, Lucifer the show as
Is
Angel.
fantastic.
We love Lucifer the show.
That Lucifer.
But
Whatever. I love how that's Jody Dall's reaction. It's like, "Ooh." And then my reaction is like, he's such a Cinderella.
I'm such an Ella.
I am.
That Lucifer is gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, she's very pretty.
And I can admit that one.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like Jacob Elordi. These British actors, man.
You see, I'm not in love with like all British actors, but there are some of them that I'm like, you're just so cute. I could just pinch your cheeks.
Have I showed you Jacob Elordi?
No. Well, I know what we're doing after this podcast episode.
We're not talking about theories, that's for sure.
No. This is just such a solid movie.
It's a solid movie. There's a
I like the music a little bit more than the first one in certain aspects. The first movie had really important times comes like "So This Is Love," the Cinderella song, but that's really it.
Sings
Hey, we listened to the reception in the car.
Which transferred into "So This Is Love."
Yeah.
But you figure there's not like we said before, like the Cinderella story is a very classic movie. Like it's very fast paced. Is a very
Cinderella 3 also is very fast paced because it's literally like 70 minutes.
It's an hour and a half.
I thought it was an hour and 13
It's
minutes.
an hour and 30.
I'm gonna look this up now.
Fact check. But anyways, no, like what I liked about this was
Can you see my glasses? Oh, they're grody.
like the continuing of like more notable songs. Like there's the song that Jaq and Gus sing. There's the song at the beginning about their perfect year.
Oh, it's an hour and 21 minutes.
So
Okay.
I think the best way to describe the difference between the music in the first and the third one is the first one is more atmospheric. Like it just how it happened that to be that Cinderella sung the music.
Whereas this is very much so a musical.
Yes, the music helps progress the story along.
Yeah. And I love like I just love the lengths that the prince is willing to go for Cinderella. I mean, you see her save her and Anastasia at the end of the movie from Lady Tremaine.
He literally jumps with a horse
Oh,
onto
he's-
a boat.
Nah, he got flung off that horse.
To be
That horse
fair,
thought he was nuts.
to be fair, he was.
like, but like, still, like, that's crazy to me. Of like, you go from the plank of wood that he was in the first movie, and you have
To
such a dynamic character range, throwing himself out the window, being launched off of a horse to go save this girl that's being banished, throwing yourself in front of magic with a skinny sword to deflect it.
Okay, so is he really like throwing himself out of the way for Cinderella, or is he just really an adrenaline junkie? Is my question. Because we see him with that like he literally one of the main parts of the movie is when he's talking with his dad about like the girl who fits his slipper, and he's like doing like all these like crazy gymnastics that he doesn't need to do. And I know it's to set up like other parts of the movie to be like, oh yeah, like he can totally like slide down the sail of this like boat. But like is it that he's just like really into Cinderella, or is it that he's just really into his like
I think.
athletics?
Well, I mean, you can see that even he impresses himself because, like, when he gets flung off the horse and he like lands on the ship and does his whole Peter Pan swinging on the rope, and he lands, he's kind of like, "What the heck did I just do?" Like, even he's like shook a little, like, "Damn, that was cool."
Damn, I'm feeling myself today, you know?
But one character that doesn't get enough appreciation is the Grand Duke. He deserves a Nobel for what he had to deal with.
oh my god, that poor guy.
The king. Oh,
I really disliked the scene in Cinderella 3 when Anastasia and Drizella and Lady Tremaine are in like
The food.
yeah,
Yep.
oh my gosh.
because there is all this beautiful food that is meant to serve thousands and thousands of people, and the girls have a food fight and literally make a mess out of the entire room. And there's this like huge cake.
For a wedding. That's supposed to happen that night.
Those poor chefs.
And a cake like that, and especially in their time, would take days to prepare.
Mhm.
And they didn't have any fairy godmother's magic to do it. So like
No, Lady Tremaine just kept on bitching and bitching and bitching. And I'm like, you're such a fucking Karen.
did you hear that she was like, I want Drizella to sing at the wedding?
Oh my god. For all love, and that also drove me nuts because as we were doing it a test recording. But like Anastasia is already getting married to the prince. Can she cut some grace on her daughter and just not have her sing?
Right?
We don't need the sweet James Nightingale, sweet James Nightingale. We don't need that, okay?
We don't need you to like call out your entire family for how untalented they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Because she wants to showcase her daughters, but like if anything, that's humiliating them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
One of the ways I feel like this movie really succeeded as a time travel film was through its self-awareness. Like, if you look at the first movie, the only spot you see like Anastasia and Drizella really embarrass themselves is the Sweet Nightingale song. But then you see in this movie, it heightened. There was the dance scene, there was the food scene. Like, there's a lot of evidence here.
Anastasia dancing.
Where it was like, oh yeah, they they were like it wasn't like Deadpool like breaking the fourth wall,
Mm-hmm.
but they like were like aware of it, or like with the prince where it was like where the king like you think there's only one girl in the whole kingdom where it's a size 4.5.
dude, me.
Like that's what everyone like pinpoints on the prince. Like really, just her shoe, nothing else, and they were aware of it. And so like see,
And it was funny because before the prince was cursed or, had the spell cast on him by Lady Tremaine, he went in and he was just like,
he knew instantly.
yeah, that it was not, Anastasia was not her. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize that more than one girl could fit the shoe. Sorry, wrong room. I'm out.
But it's like that self-awareness where it's like it succeeds as a time travel movie while keeping homages to the original film, like that second pumpkin carriage that Lady Tremaine made.
It also proves that in Cinderella 1, he actually did recognize her face.
Exactly.
Because that's like one joke. Like if you watch any other Cinderella movie, that's kind of like a continuous ongoing joke or like ongoing theme is that it's always a masquerade ball or something that he can't identify her face. But in the original Cinderella, when they are dancing, they are staring eye to eye the entire night. And it's just like, dude, I recognize people by their eyes. How do you not recognize that is Cinderella?
I don't know, my guy. Maybe he just has really, really bad eyesight.
Yeah. But no, like that's like
Look.
but like that's
Could you imagine?
When you're that close, that was very awkward for me. But like,
part of me wants to put like a heart in front of it.
no. But like, if you're that close to someone's face, how do you not recognize someone?
I don't know, man.
But like no, so like that self-awareness and also like references to like the original film though.
Also, sorry for invading your space.
You're forgiven.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But like no, that's why I think it succeeds so well as a time travel movie. And combined with like how every time travel movie always like has like doppelgangers where you're like seeing a character more than once at the same time. Like the fact they did that in such a creative way, not just a regular, oh, I'm back in the past and I'm seeing my past self. No, it's they freaking turned Anastasia into Cinderella.
Yeah,
Like that was brilliant.
the Little Mermaid type of. Well, no, not really. The Sea Witch didn't try and turn herself into,
No,
yeah,
it was,
Ariel.
I just also want to say right now that I think that the wedding dress that Cinderella was supposed to wear was the ugliest thing I've ever seen Cinderella wear.
it wasn't the
The
most.
second one is better. The bippity boppity bood version was better.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
See, I really liked her wedding dress that she originally wore.
Did you say? But the one in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm referring to the one from the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's sleek, it's elegant.
But then the one in like that Anastasia Cinderella, if you will, wears is not it.
Mm-mm.
Like the royal dressmakers were just like throw a white fabric at a wall, hope it sticks.
I'm really curious why Drizella gets the shaft.
I actually have a theory about this. Okay, so we can all agree Lady Tremaine is not the best parent.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Because this is a really important part to stop up there. I think there are two types of kids who, like, in that type of relationship,
Sorry, you're gonna get it.
in that type of relationship, can, like, produce. You get a Drizella, which is, like, will follow in the mom's footsteps and just, like, thrive there. And then you get Anastasia, who sees that there is a possibility of something different, but has to make the choice whether or not to step out or not. And so, for me, always watching that, like, Anastasia like has to make that choice to step out of her mom's shadow, and having Gisela be like very solidly all just like I don't know, always has made sense to me because like that's what I've seen in my own life and in other people's lives.
I find it kind of interesting with Cinderella 3, though. Like, the sisters' dynamic is a bit more different than like other Cinderella stories because we see in other Cinderella stories that the twins are very similar. Like, they do the same things, they're in the same, like, they're interested in the same people, the same hobby. Yeah, they're cuckoo.
It's a little
Anastasia wants love, though, and she makes that very prominent that she wants love. And Drizella just wants the bougie life.
Yeah. And the reason why I find it interesting is because once upon a time,
Uh,
I know you don't like when I bring it up, but the reason I bring it up is because in season 7 of Once Upon a Time, they highlight like Lady Tremaine is there, and it is the same thing, favoring Anastasia over Gisela. So much so, Gisela becomes a major villain in that season
Good for her, to be honest.
because she got fed up. Like in the canon, Anastasia had died, and Lady Tremaine was still given that attention to Anastasia and not Gisela. And so I just find it interesting how it's always Anastasia over Gisela in a lot of different versions, or they're just both cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I just also like wonder because it's obvious that they're fraternal twins and they're not identical.
Well, that's never been confirmed for this story.
Yeah.
Cinderella, we just know that they're sisters. There's no indication of an older, younger, or twin scenario.
I just thought they were twins. I feel like I need to
think
look.
that they're just half sisters. I mean, you have a redhead and a dark.
I was like, literally the redhead and the dark hair. I kind of want to know the lore now. Hold
Yeah,
up.
Lord.
Demure. I don't get that whole demure thing. Does anyone?
No, but obviously Anastasia is very demure. I don't know what the hell it means. Anyway,
We're also gonna probably look up what does demure
if you
mean.
guys know what the whole demure thing is about, tell us, please.
Oh my gosh. I also want to bring back a joke that comes right before like the scene where we see it like the food grossness. Um sh- Prince is talking to his dad. He's talking about how great Anastasia is, trying to hype her up, you know. Oh,
They're described as proud and haughty rather than ugly.
but he's talking about how she has such fine, like refined breeding and taste, and then they walk into the room where they're having a giant food fight, and I'm like, yes, such breeding.
That's fun, actually.
I know. I was
I
makes crack
love
up.
the scenes that the king has with
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
They're very sweet.
They're very sweet and tender-hearted, which Disney tends to not have any tender-hearted moments like that in their movies. If it exists, it's between the leads, the male lead and the female leads.
Or Belle and her dad.
Still a female lead.
Fair enough.
But you
According to this lore, sorry, the half sisters is based off of, so it is half sisters, but they're based off of a Chinese legend from the Ugly Sisters where they eat this fish that turns them ugly.
okay, but this is based off of the Grimm's fairy tale.
Is it based off of the Grimm's? I thought it was something slightly different.
Okay. There's also another podcast that does like more. So there's so many like, and it's a different version that's not the Grimm fairy tales, but they go over a different story of Cinderella, and basically it's called the Saddle Horse SLX.
Oh.
And it's where the sisters are saying that Cinderella is the saddle horse. And yeah, that one is really kind of weird. And then it involves nymphs in it, so that fairy godmother is a nymph and not actually a yeah. And that the nymph is actually more rebellious and was outcasted from all the other nymphs, so she was like not even a good nymph, and that's why they called Cinderella the saddle horse.
Huh. I know there's a version of like a similar Cinderella story in a Chinese proverb. But we're getting distracted.
Very much so.
I mean,
I don't even remember what I was saying now. Oh yeah, the tenderheartedness. No.
sorry, I was just trying to read the lore on this.
But no, I liked how like that tenderheartedness is. It wasn't between like Cinderella or the prince or anything. It was two side characters, and it brought out the character development for Anastasia. That kind of sets it up for that short story in the unofficial second movie.
I agree. I agree. I
You
agree.
know, and I love that like it continued out even at the end where he's like, you can have your shelf back, and he just goes, everyone deserves to have true love.
Which is so sweet.
Like he's such a teddy bear. I loved him so much.
So according to the
He kind of reminds me of your dad.
You've been enjoying the conversation, you know.
Sorry, I'm just reading lore. I'm so interested. Because the Grimm fairy tales said that the stepsisters had beautiful faces and fair skin, but had hearts that were foul and black.
I mean, they also do get their comeuppance in the end.
This is true.
I'm now just interested in this.
Can you do it after?
I got myself on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Do you have any thoughts on the tenderheartedness between the king and Anastasia?
With the whole scene.
Oh, that was actually pretty cute.
Oh, yeah.
But you could definitely tell that Anastasia felt guilty.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it really set up her character arc between the rest of this movie, but also set her up for the short story with the bread man in the technical second movie. You know,
I also loved
Like,
the story of the king and like him actually telling how he met his wife.
Oh, it's so sweet.
And he's just like, you remind me a lot of my wife, who also can't dance.
Same.
does anyone else find it weird that the king's wife also had like red
Red
hair?
hair.
Uh-huh.
Like that's a little interesting.
Like, hey, buddy.
Bright red hair, bright pink dress.
And why the prince has black hair?
We never see what.
It's almost as if we're really going into some theories here that maybe Anastasia was given away because they didn't have a son, and Lady Tremaine actually had a son instead of a daughter and gave her son up to.
Ooh, a switcheroo.
Yeah. Huh?
crazier things have
That's
happened.
actually got way deeper than I was thinking. But to be fair,
Am I the only one who thinks this?
we don't know the king's original hairstyle because he's old and gray.
Yeah, but in the young picture,
It's still old and gray.
which is weird.
But maybe his natural hair color is just gray.
Yeah.
Natural silver fox.
Oh.
No. Strobe light party. We're partying.
Can't do strobe lights.
We're partying. Oh.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there anything else we really need to talk about with this movie?
It's fantastic. If you've not watched it, I recommend it.
Go watch it.
Oh, it's gonna die.
That explains it. Wow, I really got through this video a lot.
Now we know.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, friends of Disney.
Bye.
You'll see Megan in a few months.
Hold on, really quick. There is going to be a giveaway happening.
Yes, a giveaway is happening.
Yes. Even though we're not 200 subscribers, we're partnering with other Disney fan accounts on Instagram. So check out the Instagram to figure out what's going on with the giveaway. There's really cool prizes involved. So
A lot of creators.
lots of Disney, like low-level Disney influencers on Instagram, including us. So check it out on Instagram and stuff. So bye.
Bye.
You'll see Megan in a few months.
Yes.
Thanks for all come back.
And she won't be pregnant.
What?